presumptions of what justice means, we have presumption of what Allah means, and then we go out to prove that Allah is just. An atheist was brought in my presence at a particular talk that I was delivering, and they said, this is a person who does not believe in God, and he has argued his case against the best of philosophers. Why don't you have a go? I said, well, if everybody else has lost, what gives you this confidence that I'll win? Take him away. I'm not the one he needs. They said, no, we'll bring him there. Anyway, he sat there. I deliberately did not address him to see where his curiosity would lead him. He immediately interrupted at a state when he said, I do not believe in God. I said, good for you. He said, are you not going to challenge me? I said, why should I? If you don't believe in God, don't believe in God. I said, well, okay, if you don't believe in God, why don't you believe in God? You might as well tell us, because you're so curious about how we will react. So he said, I don't believe in God because of this. I heard him and I said, you make perfect sense. I don't believe in God either, if that is what God is. We said, well, coming down to the bottom of it, aren't you denying a God which is a fragment of your own imagination? You are denying a God that doesn't exist at all anyway. Such a God doesn't exist. You are right to deny such a God. In fact, God denies him his own self. La ilah. He himself is saying there is no such God like the one you're describing. At the end of it, we need to examine where we are. We need to be audacious enough, free enough. This is the principle of tawadu, fluidity. That readiness to accept the truth from wherever it may come. Even if it means to re-examine our understanding of God, our understanding of heaven, our understanding of hell, our understanding of thawab, our understanding of guna, our understanding of one and all. How odd that the people on the path of spirituality and those who claim to be Sufis and followers of Sufis, that they are the biggest mushrikeen. For they appoint a sheikh, and they are ready to die for that sheikh and live for that sheikh. That sheikh has become a god for them. How amazing that the means of liberation has become the point of stagnation in itself. How amazing. Where are those free-spirited men? That is the first challenge, to arrive at point zero in our intellectual worlds. And then comes the hardest challenge, and that is to arrive at point zero within our emotional worlds and the intimate world. What is point zero at that level? You see, look at the Christians when they came to the Prophet. It actually exemplifies this point. They stated, Christ is a son of God. Why? Because he didn't have a father. Allah poses a very simple, rational, logical argument which was working down to the basic building blocks of their thought, and said, in that case, Adam by priority should be the son of God, because Adam did not have a father nor a mother. Now, by your reasoning, either accept that Adam is the elder brother of Jesus as being the son of God, or admit that Jesus is not the son of God. They lost the intellectual challenge. However, their inner attachment with Jesus was such that they defied their own logic. Can you see that? Even when the intellectual world breaks, what I am inside myself will not allow me. And that is the greater challenge, to work at point zero from within. They were attached to Jesus to an extent that they wanted to mutually engage with the Prophet in mutual imprecation and la'na of the false party. And when they saw that they will lose this spiritual challenge, even then they did not desist from the worship of Christ. Can you see that? They stated that if that little child in the arm of Muhammad, if he were to look at that lofty mountain and to pray to Allah, it will surely crumble. We have no way of challenging them. They lost intellectually, they lost spiritually, yet their attachment was so binding that they could not be moved from that. That is the greatest challenge. To work at that point zero from within. What does that mean? Allahu Akbar. That means to really give ourselves away. And there we find the meaning of ibadah. That there is no permanence in me, O Lord, save what you give. Every instance I am at your mercy, not only in my mind. You can create my universe and refashion it at every instance, not only in my mind, but even at the depths of my intimate self. You can mold, fashion, and remold. Look at the soul of the Prophet. Look at the soul of Hussein ibn Ali. My goodness, how fluid they were. When Hur came to Hussein, and I always say this, had I been in the state in which Hussein found himself, Al-Hussein, and had Hur come to me, I would say, oh Hur, go away. Your face and your sight offends me. It is because of you I am surrounded by 30 to 100,000 unsheathed swords. It is because of you my water supply has been cut for 3 days. It is because of you the daughters of the Prophet are going to be captives. It is because of you my children will be orphaned. In fact, it would have been better had you been fighting against me. This is more offensive to me that now you put me into this predicament, into this point of destruction, and then you come with repenting. Oh, don't you have any shame? Go away. It offends me to see you. Whether you live or die will not make any difference to me. Whether you fight alongside me or fight against me, I'm going to die anyway. This would have been my response. What does Hussein say? He opens his arms and embraces him, and he states, not only I, but my Lord has forgiven you. Look at that state of inner growth. That state of non-stagnation from within. But I'll point at another incident that an Iranian alim quoted some time back. What a marvelous waqia. He had fallen from his steed. Shimr cried out, close in on him and behead him. At that point, a general who was a Christian from amongst the army of Syria, he narrates, I observed his face. I saw it glowing and radiating, filled with contentment. I looked closely, and his lips were moving in the praise of Allah. When I saw such splendor and beauty, I was reminded of a verse within our scriptures, that there shall come a prophet, and he shall have a wasi, or a grandson, who will find himself in defeat, and yet will not lose his trust in Allah. I went to him, I said, are you the wasi of the prophet that was promised to us? Hussein stated, yes, I am. Now listen, this general, he stated to Hussein, is there forgiveness for me in your heart? And Hussein said, I have forgiven you. Look at that level of inner emancipation and liberation. To be honest with you, and I know my time is running, to be truthful in this, we are the creators of our own hell, and we are the creators of our own heaven. There is no hell there, there is no heaven there beyond the one me and you are creating. Look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is Allah. He is all merciful. Allah, as the Imam says, you don't need to punish me, so why should you punish me? And Allah is begging us and telling us, don't punish your own selves.